In this video, we are going to talk about sleep because sleep is something so powerful that if it was not required for the survival of human bodies, it would be probably banned by sports federations like Olympics because it would give an unfair advantage for a person who got a good quality sleep rather than a person who didn't get a good night's sleep. Fair, right? You might have even noticed yourself, like how you perform on the days you have got a good quality sleep and how you perform on the days you didn't get enough sleep. Like the difference is fairly visible. Even I have an example where I saw my performance in 5 kilometers run deteriorated after just one night of bad sleep because I had went to practice sleepless that day, and even after being more exhausted than usual, I had given fairly higher timing than I used to give. Bad sleep doesn't only taxes on your body, it does taxes on your brain, on your mind, on your psychological intelligence as well. I pretty much believe that I am more better, more sharper decision maker on the days I got good night's sleep. And as an athlete myself who's a 3 times Guinness World Record holder in skipping and a state level sea swimmer, also a triathlete who wants to represent India in the sports of triathlon soon, I'm always keen to know how to get a better sleep. So since past 2-3 years, I've been researching on this topic a lot. I have watched tons of podcasts from Brian Johnson or Andrew Huberman and also read a lot of scientific documents. And in this video, I'll try to summarize all of it in just 5 simple points. You don't need to sleep in controlled environments, sleeping chambers and a science lab. You just need to make sure few things. Let's begin this video, but first of all, huge respect to you guys for watching such low dopamine, high information content rather than scrolling on Instagram Reels, TikToks or YouTube Shorts, because these kinds of content have a lot of information but almost zero to no dopamine. So if you're watching these kinds of videos, you are already ahead of 90% of population, and if you implement these tips in your own personal life, you'll be ahead of 99%, that's for sure. Let's begin with the most important point, which you all are probably doing right now. Using your screens just before sleep. Like, I can pretty much tell almost 40 to 50% of my audience are watching this video on their bed before they sleep. And that habit is the worst thing you can do for your sleep, because blue light, which is emitted from your screens, from your mobile screens, from your laptop screens, from your TV screens, these things reduce your melatonin level, and when your melatonin is reduced, you don't feel sleepy anymore, and that is why even in the sleeping pills, melatonin is being given. So basically, when you're staring at your blue light emitting screens, which are your phones, your laptops, your TV screens, your brain pretty much feels that it is daytime and it doesn't releases melatonin anymore, and that is why you don't feel sleepy. Or even if you start feeling sleepy just because you are tired, you wouldn't get a good night's sleep because your system, your body doesn't has enough melatonin to fall asleep. And that is why even you might have noticed that after you scroll reels and go to sleep, you wake up very tired, very groggy, because you pretty much slept 8 hours, but that quality of sleep wasn't given to you. And I pretty much believe in the principle of quality over quantity, which implies a lot on sleep. And that is why there is a high chance that if you focus on your sleep and just sleep for 5 hours, you'd still sleep better than the person who slept for 8 hours but didn't focus on the sleep quality. So basically, at least 1 hour before your bedtime, avoid blue lights, avoid screens, avoid bright lights in your room. And if you can't avoid these things, like if you have to do stuffs which involve the screen, you need to wear a blue light blocking glasses. So now let's talk about the second topic. I think this topic is going to be contrasting because few people might relate to me a lot and few people won't. And the topic is basically avoiding caffeine. So there might be few people who are addicted to caffeine, who need caffeine for the system to operate. And I am one of them, because before workouts, before any hectic task, I have a lot of black coffee, or even in my energy drink, energy supplement, there's 100 milligrams of caffeine, which again doesn't lead to any crashes. But at the end of the day, if you have it in the wrong time, it might affect your sleep. And there also might be people who are not having this problem of caffeine addiction. They can live and survive without caffeine and work optimally without caffeine, but most of us are not one of them. And the topic is simple: just avoid caffeine at least 8 to 10 hours before bed. So if you are someone who sleeps at 10 o'clock, just make sure that your last coffee is before 2 p.m. So there are a lot of things which have hidden caffeine in them. It could be chocolates and all. So make sure that you are aware of what you are having, and that again comes to the basic point that you need to know the ingredients of the stuffs you are having. Also make sure that you are not having caffeine as soon as you wake up, because it might affect your cortisol levels. So if you delay your caffeine intake at least 90 minutes after you wake up. If you are someone who wakes up at 6:30, make sure that you are not having any kind of coffee before 8 o'clock. So now let's talk about the third topic, which is for us sportsmen, is to avoid any kind of physical strenuous activities at least 2 to 3 hours before bedtime. And the reason behind it is simple. Strenuous activities like a run or a gym session might increase your heart rate, and increased heart rate is not something you need before you go to bed. And for similar reasons, you shouldn't be even having heavy meals before you go to bed. The fourth topic which we are going to talk about is your activity levels, because if you are not active throughout the day, if you are not even completing 5 to 6,000 steps every single day, or not going for gym or any kind of workout or any kind of physical activities, you won't feel sleepy when it's time to sleep. And that is why it is very important that you spend your free time doing any sort of activity. It could be a walk, a jog, a gym session, a yoga session, or even playing any sport. Playing, not watching. In fact, as a triathlete myself, I spend 3 to 4 hours every single day. I have 3 sessions of workout every single day, and that is why I believe, even if I don't follow every other tips I give in this video, if I just make sure to get my workouts in, I'd still get a good enough sleep, because my body feels tired and it needs to recover for the tomorrow's workout session. So it gets used to recovering, and that is why I get a good night's sleep no matter what. Last but not the least is to have a consistent sleep timing. And I may insist on this topic because this is one of the most important topic, is to have a consistent sleep timing. It doesn't need to be very early. Like for good sleep, you don't need to sleep at 8:30 or 9 o'clock. You can, but early sleep doesn't mean good sleep. Even if you're sleeping at 11:30 or 12 o'clock, or as late as I do. Like currently it's 12:30 while I'm recording, and I will sleep around 2:15 to 12:45. So even if you're sleeping late, just make sure that you are sleeping on the same time every single day, so that your body gets accustomed to that same timing and it prepares yourself for a good sleep every single day on the same time. So a few more quick tips I would like to give is, you can take a warm shower before you sleep. Keep your room temperature low for a good sound sleep, and also make sure that wherever you're sleeping there's not a lot of light and sound. Also, you need not drink a lot of water before you sleep. Your mattress is as comfortable as you want to be, not too soft, not too hard. And if possible, make sure that your phone is away from you and you don't put an alarm for you to wake up, because it disturbs your sleep cycle. So that was it for today's video. I hope you found this video informative. If yes, don't forget to share this video with your loved ones, and like, and obviously subscribe if you haven't done it yet. Follow me on Insta and DM me if you want guidance on your fitness transformation journey. Until next time, stay safe. Jai Hind. Goodbye.